My name's Noah. Back in my junior year of college, I had an unforgettable, slightly unusual encounter during the spring. Having just broken up with my girlfriend over spring break, I decided I don't want to date for a while. My days consisted of listening to my friends talk about their love lives and their flings. One day, one of them started telling us about this girl he'd met at a mixer.
So I met this incredibly cute girl at a mixer the other day, and I was like, hey, want to slip out and come over to my place? And just like that, she came over. It was so easy.
Easy, huh? I'd never had a one-night stand, and his casual attitude had me a bit put off. So I asked, "So, are you planning on dating her?" He waved his hand dismissively in front of his face.
No way, man. There was something off about her. I just wasn't feeling it. Ended up driving her home the next morning.
Then he added,
Such a waste. She's so pretty.
and showed me a picture of her, apparently from the mixer. The moment I saw that picture, I felt something I'd never felt before. She's breathtakingly beautiful. The girl in the photo had pale skin, beautiful hair that reached down to her chest, and big round eyes that sparkled. Even though there were other girls in the photo, I could only see her. That girl. My friend, surprised by my sudden exclamation, said,
Yeah, that's her. The one who came to my place.
I pressed my friend to introduce me to her, but he was adamant.
Trust me, man, she's weird. Just steer clear.
He warned, but seeing how persistent I was, he eventually caved and gave me her contact info. Honestly, I'd never been this interested in a woman before. Even I was surprised at how proactive I was being, and my friend seemed utterly shocked.
You're on your own, dude. Don't come complaining to me later.
He said, trying to give me one last warning, but I brushed it off and eagerly reached out to her. I hadn't given much thought to what my friend meant when he said she's a bit off. I assumed maybe she was the clingy type or perhaps had intense mood swings. I thought, that's no big deal, and was pretty much on cloud nine. This girl, named Lily, was surprisingly responsive to my out-of-the-blue message. We quickly struck up rapport, chatting daily. Within a week, Lily and I had scheduled our first date. She was even more adorable in person than in the picture, petite and gentle. I was totally smitten. Sure, she was a bit quirky, but that just made her all the more endearing to me. Even though it was our first meeting, the feelings bubbling up inside me were overwhelming. So much so that by the end of the night, I blurted out, "I fell for you the moment I saw you. I want us to be together." And just like that, we started dating. I thought, I've never felt this way about any of my past girlfriends. Utterly infatuated with Lily. But as time went on, I began to understand why my friend had called her weird. The first time I really felt a disconnect with Lily was when I took her out to a fancy restaurant for her birthday. With a shy smile, she remarked,
I've never been to such a posh place before.
I looked at her and thought she was incredibly cute. However, during our meal, things took a turn. She seemed restless, constantly looking around and fidgeting. She struggled with her knife and fork, dropping them multiple times. I felt a tad embarrassed, especially given the glances from other patrons. Every time she'd mess up, she'd apologize with a sad look, saying,
I'm so sorry.
I would always reassure her, it's okay. But as these incidents became a regular occurrence, I started dreading our meetings. Although both of us lived alone, it had become customary for Lily to stay over at my place on weekends. For the first time, I made an excuse about needing to work on a report and told her she couldn't come over. That Friday night, when I called to let her know, she broke down.
Noah, have you started to dislike me?
I wasn't in the mood to comfort her, so I responded with a quick, "Let's meet next week," and hung up. To be honest, the report wasn't urgent, and I still had plenty of time to finish it. But I was worried that if I saw Lily, I'd end up being short with her. I just needed some time alone to cool off. The next day, as I reluctantly started working on my report, Lily called.
I'm sorry about yesterday. I wasn't considering your feelings.
She said, feeling guilty for lying to her. I quickly replied, "It's all right." She then made an unexpected offer.
I want to help you as you work hard on your report. Can I come over and cook for you? I promise not to stay over, and we'll leave right after.
The idea of Lily cooking was a novelty, and I thought, why not? At least we'd be at my place with no one around to judge. So I agreed. That evening, Lily arrived holding 2 large plastic bags. She changed into an apron she had brought with her and tied a bandana around her head as she started to cook. Watching Lily, whom I had always wanted to see cooking, was heartwarming. She looked incredibly adorable from the back. I began to forget about the frustration I felt earlier and started to think that maybe things would be okay again. However, within moments, Lily accidentally cut her finger with a knife. I quickly put a band-aid on her finger. Just as I thought she was back on track, she knocked over a bowl containing mincemeat, eggs, and milk. My kitchen carpet was a mess. Furthermore, when the hamburger steak she tried to cook was finally done, it looked like a piece of charcoal. Even though I said, I'll still eat it, Lily insisted on starting over from scratch, repeating this process 3 times. Lily asked me to just sit quietly without interfering. I had no choice but to do as she said, continuing with my report. She began cooking around 5 p.m., but even by 10 p.m., dinner wasn't ready. Losing my patience, I took over the cooking, especially frying the hamburgers. Seeing this, Lily broke down, saying,
I'm sorry I couldn't be of any help.
While I felt affectionate towards Lily and found her cute, her incompetence in the kitchen was making me irritable again. I tried to be comforting, saying, it's okay, but she probably sensed my exasperation. Even when I told her there was nothing else she could do to help, Lily kept begging, asking if there was anything else she could assist with. I thought, this is simple, so there's no way she could mess it up, and asked Lily to vacuum the room. Even though I felt irritated with Lily, deep down I wanted to reconcile and share a laugh. I prayed silently, hoping, please don't cause any more trouble, as I was transferring the well-cooked hamburger to a plate. Just then, a thunderous crash, louder than the vacuum's hum, echoed from behind me. I turned around in shock to find Lily with a tearful expression, having stepped on my acoustic guitar. She had been so focused on vacuuming that she hadn't noticed my guitar, which was propped up on a stand, and accidentally knocked it over with her foot. In her surprise from the sound of the falling guitar, she ended up stepping right onto it. The guitar now had a huge hole in it. This guitar, which I painstakingly saved up for by working part-time jobs since my freshman year of college, costing 400,000 yen, was something I cherished deeply. The built-up frustration combined with this incident made my patience wear thin. Enough is enough. You say you want to be helpful, but you haven't been of any help at all. You're just getting in my way. I don't even want to see your face. Get out now. Tears streamed from Lily's large eyes, but in that moment, I felt no remorse for my harsh words.
I'm so sorry.
She whispered through her tears. Lily returned the guitar to its original place and left the room. It took about a week for me to realize maybe I was too harsh on Lily. Our daily phone calls had ceased, so I was making good progress on my reports. However, I couldn't shake the feeling of emptiness, as if a hole had been punched in my chest. I considered reaching out and apologizing to Lily, but how could I resolve the issue of constantly being irritated by her mistakes? Unable to find an answer, I hesitated to contact her. 2 weeks after our argument, I received a call from Lily, but it wasn't her voice on the other end. It was a nurse from a hospital. Shockingly, Lily had been in a traffic accident and was rushed to the hospital. They asked me to come right away. When I hastily arrived at her room, I was at a loss for words. Lily was lying in bed, with her head, arms, legs, and other visible parts wrapped in bandages, and numerous tubes connected to her body. At first glance, she was almost unrecognizable, like a different person. Tears welled up in my eyes. This can't be real. Is that really Lily? She was so lively. As I stood frozen at the entrance of her room, a nurse who arrived later asked,
Are you a family member?
No, I barely managed to reply. Guessing that I might be her boyfriend, the nurse continued.
Lily doesn't have any family. Your number was the only one in her contacts, so we called you.
What? I was unaware that Lily had no family. The last time Lily and I talked about her family, she had said,
They're far away, so I can't see them.
I had taken her words at face value. The nurse then informed me about aspects of Lily's life I wasn't aware of. When she was still a young child, While on a drive with her family, a car driven by a drowsy driver crashed into them. As a result, she lost her parents and sister. Miraculously, Lily was the sole survivor, but the accident left her with a neurological abnormality. This was the reason behind her sometimes odd behavior. She had been coming to this hospital since she was young for rehabilitation and checkups. Despite struggling with her behavior, making friends was difficult for her. However, she often mentioned how much she loved her recent boyfriend. Lily had never once shared any of this with me. Every day, Lily was going through so much pain and trying her best, and I, without once trying to understand her feelings, said such terrible things. I realized, as I was reeling from my actions,
Noah,
a very faint voice said. Rushing to Lily's side, she tearfully said,
you came. Thank you. I'm so happy.
I should be apologizing. I'm sorry, Lily, for not being there for you. As I spoke, Lily weakly touched my cheek.
I'm sorry about the guitar. I wanted to make up with you.
She whispered faintly. Her weakness made me fear the worst. I don't care about the guitar. Just get better soon, I told her. Then she asked,
Can I come to your house again?
Without hesitation, I replied, Of course, we'll make hamburgers together again. She whispered,
Thank you.
And closed her eyes. No matter how many times I called her name, she didn't respond. Tears streamed down my face as I kept calling out to her. Then the machines connected to Lily began to beep rapidly. Doctors and nurses rushed into the room, and I was quickly ushered out by a nurse. And 5 years later,
Noah, wake up.
as I opened my eyes to that voice, Lily was right there beside me. After that day, thanks to the relentless efforts of the hospital staff, Lily miraculously recovered enough to lead a normal life. Last year, we got married. Even now, I can't express the happiness I feel every morning when I wake up to find Lily next to me. On that fateful day, Lily had found something on the street. Without checking for oncoming traffic, she crossed the intersection and was hit by a car. That object she found, it turned out to be an acoustic guitar, eerily similar to mine. I've often told Lily, guitars can be repaired or replaced, but you are irreplaceable. If we were to lose you once, you could never come back. Please, for my sake, take care of yourself. Hearing those words, Lily gave me a happy, adorable nod of acknowledgement. It's a sentiment I continuously remind myself of. While Lily still sometimes acts unexpectedly, with my support, we always find a way through. Lately, maybe because we've made it together so many times, Lily has become skilled at making hamburgers on her own. If we continue growing together, little by little, I know I'll always feel blessed.